Welcome everybody, this is Vintage Story, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to prepare scrambled eggs. This recipe is in the base game, but it's also improved upon with one of my favorite mods, Expanded Foods. So if you're playing with that, we'll take a look at both ways to prepare it so you'll know which one to go with. But I've also got a whole bunch of other cooking and tutorial videos on my YouTube channel, so check the playlist below if you need help with anything or if you're just interested in some other good recipes too. But now let's get into the kitchen and start cooking. Alright, now let's cover the tools and ingredients that we're going to need for scrambled eggs. First, for the vanilla recipe, all you'll need is a cooking pot, of course some firewood, and a torch to light it, but the ingredients will just be eggs. As a standard, you will need eggs, and then you're going to be able to add some veggies and some sort of cheese or milk product. I've never actually added or tried cottage cheese, but if you manage to add cottage cheese to your scrambled eggs, let me know down in the comments. I'd be interested. But cheese definitely works, and for the vanilla recipe, that's it. That's all you need though, so it's a very simple one as long as you can get your hands on some eggs. But for the expanded foods recipe, it is a little bit more complicated, requiring more tools, but it accepts more ingredients, and it is a better system in my opinion, more realistic. What you'll want is a rolling pin and a knife. Those are going to be for preparing your extra ingredients such as the nuggets or your meat, and you want to chop up your veggies too. And of course you'll probably want to slice your cheese wheel with your knife, but in addition to that you're going to want a bucket to crack the eggs into and a bowl so that we can portion the eggs into the cooking pot when we're ready. Again, these are going to be for the expanded foods recipe, and again you'll still need the ingredients of the eggs, the optional cabbage, cheese, or any kind of veggie I should say, and meat is now an option as well with the expanded food, so you can basically double up on your protein nutrient. But let's get into the recipes themselves now. Alright, now that we're here in the kitchen, let's take a look at the handbook. And when we enter the word scrambled, you can see that two different entries come up. Now, if you're playing vanilla, the only one you'll see is this one here, crafting mechanic, meal making. Let's click on it. Scrolling all the way to the bottom, scrambled eggs is here. Very simple, 2 sentences. First 2 slots must be eggs. Optional additions: 2 cheese, 0 to 2 veg, so that's per serving. And it's a very simple recipe. Like I said, you can see now that you just put the actual eggs right into the slots and then put the ingredients you want, and boom, the tooltip pops up telling you got a viable recipe. Cook it up and it's ready. Now if we go back and return to the expanded foods entry, you can see it's a little bit more detailed, but still not always completely clear. So I hope this video does help you. But instead of using eggs, now scrambled eggs require 0.2 liters, that's what we're going to use the bowl for, of liquid egg in 1 slot. It accepts all kinds of milk, veggies, meat nuggets, sausage, boiled or pickled eggs, and oh yes, I forgot to mention too, we could also use soy sauce or fish sauce in there as well. I actually have soy sauce so we can see that, but food oils accepted, or lard as a topping. Now of course we are using the cooking pot itself, so we've got limited slots here, so this is not a recipe you're going to get all the nutrients. You can't even include fruit in it. But let's move on to the eggs now, because this is something that's going to be very different for the expanded foods mod users out there. So just to cover how we actually get this liquid egg is we have to crack them. So instead of the vanilla where we just put the whole egg, shell and all, into the cooking pot, here it's more realistic. But you can mess this up, and I've done this before myself. You have the option with expanded foods to separate whites from yolks, because some recipes like salad dressing, for instance, just call for the egg white. But we want the whole thing. We want the chicken liquid is how it refers to it. So when we hover our cursor or reticle in the hotbar over the eggs, you can see a tooltip pops up there at the bottom saying Control and right click to crack partial, which would give us a separated white and then a yolk remaining. Or to crack the whole thing, we hold Control plus Shift and then right click. Very important distinction here, again, because you could fill up a bucket with the wrong stuff, and as far as I know, there's no way to mix the two once you've separated them. So once you've got whites from yolks, you're stuck with it. And let's crouch using both buttons, Shift and Control. Now I'm going to right click and fill this bucket up. You can see at the top, the tooltip is telling me we've got chicken liquid here. It doesn't say egg white, which it would if we were doing it incorrectly. And that's it. We've got the base for our scrambled eggs now. I am left with some egg shells, which can be used as a certain kind of fertilizer, very weak one, or you can feed it to your pigs, or you can just let it turn into rot and then compost it. Now, let's get into actually filling up this cooking pot. Alright, now we've seen the vanilla recipe, so everything from this point is going to be dealing with the expanded foods recipe for scrambled eggs. If you don't have that mod, I highly recommend it. It really deepens the cooking in Vintage Story, and it's a lot of fun. Just make sure that you also install a culinary artillery with it. I haven't mentioned that one, but that's just simply because scrambled eggs doesn't use anything from it, any of the tools or stuff that come with the culinary artillery, but you will need that if you're going to play with expanded foods for other recipes. Now, how do we get our chicken liquid from the bucket to the cooking pot? The best way is with the bowl. So I'm just going to right click and that'll fill us up with the liter here. Now if we open our panel for ingredients, again, you can't just put the full eggs in it. That won't work. What we want to do is put a single slot of the liquid. We don't have to put it in the first two. Unlike the vanilla recipe requires eggs in the first two, it's different here. And it specifies that in the handbook, but it does need to be an even number, essentially. So if you just have one, or if I do three, you can see we lose the tooltip. If I go up to 4, it returns. So that's important to remember. And if for whatever reason you're not able to put the liquid into the slot in tenths of a liter, if you're just putting a full liter in, hold down the control button when you do it. Sometimes that will let you just access smaller portions. But either way, now that we've got 2 liters or 0.2 liters in there, we will just add in a little bit of cheese to start. There we go. Just one slice for 0.2. That's a single portion's worth of liquid, so we have a single portion of cheese. You can see it is viable because the tooltip appears. If I put in another one or 11 more, it says it won't work. So there we go. And now of course we can add another piece of veggie in there. Beautiful. Just a single piece for a single portion. At this point, we could put in some of the soy sauce, which I have in my bucket, or the fish sauce that it says, but I do have some meat nuggets. Of course, I rolled these with my rolling pin and then chopped them up using the crafting grid. But if I put a single piece, yeah, you can see it includes the nuggets now. So that's going to help bolster the satiety. Now, soy sauce is good because it gives you a bit of a healing buff, but there's different toppings do greater and lesser things, especially regarding healing. But that is basically it for the recipe. Very simple. Let's stoke the fires here and see what kind of satiety we get on this final product. Alright, I've got our fresh scrambled eggs poured into a crock pot so we can take a look. Now, since I'm playing with the X Skills mod, I have a quality, which means some of the satiety numbers are going to be boosted slightly because of that, but this is more to see the balance that we've got here, so it's pretty good. Doubled up the protein essentially, but we got 450 in dairy and veg, so it's a quick and easy recipe that can get you 3 of the major nutrients, and if you include some soy sauce, you can get a little bit of healing with it too. But I hope it's helped you. Again, the guidebook is very vague with the scrambled eggs recipe in particular, and I will say it's kind of vague with many of the other recipes. That's why you should check out all my other cooking tutorial videos. Once again, the link is down below, but if this one has helped you out, leave me a like, make sure you subscribe for more Vintage Story content, and I will see you guys on the next one.